Hello, and welcome to another episode of Shampoo and Booze. This is episode number 28 at shampooandbooze.com.
Okay, Ryan, so what do you want to talk about today? In this Airbnb meeting we're having.
Well, let's tell people that we have a vacation rental on Airbnb. And we have a second rental that we are renovating also. And we bought both these houses and are renovating these houses using profits from our eBay business.
Right.
And each week we talk about our trials and tribulations of...
We're hacking reality!
Okay.
So something we've been talking about over the past, several months was cleaning.
Yes.
And I'm sure this is like one of the main things that anyone that deals with an Airbnb, that rents on Airbnb has to deal with is cleaning the place after people stay.
Because that is basically one of the biggest things you have to do.
And it's like, do you clean it yourself? Do you hire other people? If you hire people, how much do you charge?
Yes.
How do you maintain quality? And so far our thing is we like to clean our own place.
Right.
It takes us time, but then we keep all the money.
Right.
We can clean it the way we want it. And
we know it's done right.
Right. And so, after we got back, so we were gone for a month. We had a friend kind of handle our Airbnb. He was, cleaning it and taking care of it and renting it to people. And it worked out fine.
Yeah.
And when we came home, we had to go and clean after someone left. And we were like, what if we did just hire someone to clean? And the way we thought about it was maybe, we could have a cleaner who could help us. So if there's like a couple days between renters, we could have that person come and clean.
Right.
And then just so we could double make sure everything is the way we want it, we could then go over there and just check it and make sure all the details are there.
Well, what we were thinking was, when there's, like you said, a few days or a day between renters, which right now there have been, that's when there's a little more of a buffer to hire someone to come in, not that 3-hour window between renters when it's crazy.
I mean, I guess something I would love to hear from people is this. I'm sure people in urban areas, they're like, why wouldn't you just hire?
What is your problem?
There's just so many people ready to clean, who are looking to work for you. And I would just love to hear how people are finding a cleaner they can trust. Is the quality the way they want it? How are they maintaining the quality? Is there is someone going in there and making sure everything's there?
Right.
Those are the questions I would love to know.
Because part of it too was when we came home, there was a lot of stuff moved around. Because number one, renters move stuff around. We do that when we're, you do it just inadvertently. You're like, I just put a bowl away in a wrong place, whatever. So that part was kind of like, well, we want things in a certain place because we think that they work in the house this way. So if you hire someone to clean, is that stuff just going to get thrown out the window?
I mean, I can now understand the people that run these Airbnbs where, it's just like bare.
Right.
You go in there and it feels like a hotel room, kind of like a hotel room is bare. There's just there's pieces of furniture, there's a lamp, there's a bed. I mean, that's all there is. And that makes sense if you're hiring people to clean because then there's really nothing to be out of place.
Yeah. Everything's...
You put the chair there and that's it. Our place is it's different. It's not a home, but we've made it feel like a home where it has a lot of stuff in it. It's got, it's got all the cooking stuff and plates and,
spices,
right.
Tea and coffee, especially the kitchen. The kitchen is the most.
Magazines and, so it feels like you aren't going to a hotel room, but you're going to like a cool home. And I think that's a big plus for us and why people love to come and stay. And that's what they say that they like.
Right.
That everything had been there for them and they didn't have to go out and get stuff.
Right.
And so because of that, we have a lot of stuff. We feel like stuff has to all get put back into the quote unquote right place.
Right. Now, I don't want it to sound like our rental is just crammed full of junk, but it's like it's like you said, it's not like some of the rentals we stayed in while we were traveling. I mean, there's one in particular where you were like, there's a bed and there's a lamp.
Right.
And that's it, you know,
Right.
and that's fine.
Right.
But
It's difference again between going to a hotel where there's really nothing there.
Yeah.
You know, versus like you're going into a house and, you know, all the things that you would want while you're hanging out there
are
is
there.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing too is, you know, for someone who's renting in like an urban area, they probably have like a small apartment, and you know, I don't know how much it would cost to clean that, but maybe $40. I mean, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Because, you know, it's like a small 1-bedroom apartment. So we have like basically a 3-bedroom house. So that's probably going to cost us $75 to have cleaned. And I guess that's its question is like, so are we going to start charging people $75?
Right. That's the big question.
It's cleaning fee. Now, if someone's staying for a week, a $75 cleaning fee makes sense. You know, you bring the whole family, like that's a cost.
Yeah.
But we have a significant amount of people that are just coming for a weekend, 2 nights.
Right.
Sometimes it's just 2 people.
Right.
And so are we going to charge $75
to clean 1 bedroom in the bathroom, you know? Like, and there have been couples too. This is what's hard about it. We've had couples where we walked into the house after they stayed 2 nights and you're like, I don't even know if they stepped foot in this house. Like, it looks pristine. Like, I bet they were just barely there. So do you charge them $75? You know, it's hard.
And you know, and this has always been my argument, because when we stay, we're 2 people.
Right.
And we'll stay in a place. We're very neat and tidy people. And that's why I cringe when people try and start charging us you know, a $50 cleaning fee. We're there for 2 nights. We're totally clean people. Like, it just seems like excessive, and that's why I choose not to rent in places. And so for us, again, because we live in a rural area, you know, we're really hungry for people to come here. So we have to be careful about its barriers we set. First, I guess if we had a place in it's New York or Montreal or something, people are just willing to come, and you can start tacking on these fees, and people are willing to pay. So we have to really be careful about that.
Yeah.
I mean, the other thing too is, so then if we say, well, then, you know, what if we don't charge people $75? Maybe we charge, you know, half that or something.
Right.
And then we eat the other half. I mean, if we're renting 8 times in a month, I mean, that's a significant amount of money that we would lose.
By paying someone to help
Whereas
us.
if we just clean ourselves, we just keep that money. And again, it seems like it's this kind of thing in this world about people wanting to start these businesses, and the idea is like you don't do any work. You know,
you hire it all out.
Like the dream is like you're a mogul and you have these rental properties or these businesses and you rent out all the work.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, for us, I don't mind doing the work. I think what we're trying to balance is, you know, when is it smart for us to do the work and when is it smart to hire other people? And that's kind of what we're talking about. You know?
Yeah, I guess it's like we're saying, it's that balance. Like, how do you find the balance between, like the other day when we went over to clean, and we're obviously like coming down from, you know, working, and we're tired, and we're like, should we just hire someone to do, you know, it was kind of that feeling of like, we're cleaning the house, you know, like it just, but then again, it's that debate of like, of course we're cleaning the house, because I'm not going to pay someone $600 a month or however much to like do this, because this is my business, you know.
So anyway, I think that what we're going to do is this. We're going to go to actually our Chamber of Commerce, and because they're big into the tourist industry, and we're going to ask for a list of like
cleaners
cleaners in our area, and we're just going to start to call and get to see how much it's going to cost.
Yeah, I would love to just get a number, like,
because I'm imagining it's going to be $75, but we should just see, you know.
Yeah, we should just see how much it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of the farmhouse, we had a party of 6, I think it was 5 or 6 people, stay for 3 nights this weekend. It was starting Thursday night, ending Sunday morning. And they had a bunch of them flew in from like the Midwest and Seattle and stuff for a wedding. And it was $700, which is a great
Right.
payout.
That if they paid us that much money to stay for 3 nights.
Exactly.
Yep.
So that was cool. And it's nice to meet those people. You know, they're young people. They're traveling from like cool towns and stuff. And
Well, I mean, that just reminds me, of just how excited I am and grateful that we have created this business that does it. I mean, that's a lot of
yeah, it's a lot of money.
money. I mean, $700. That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great payout. That's when it makes it feel it's all worth it.
Yeah, well, what's great about Airbnb is when they send you the money, they send you an email that's like, you've been paid. And it's such a great email to get. You're like, oh yeah, that's why I cleaned the house for 3 hours
Right.
and then stuck around and waited for the renters and
Yep.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point.
So we have some people coming next month. They booked the house. They said 6 people are coming, and we allow
Right.
6 people.
Yeah.
Our house is perfect for that. We have 3 it's bedrooms with 3 large beds, either
Yeah.
queen or king beds, and so it's great. They said, well, we told some friends they want to come too. Can we bring 2 more people?
Yeah, so that's 8 people.
They'll just camp out in a yard, because
we have
2
a big
acres.
yard, yeah, so it's good.
In the past, especially when we were starting out, we were like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
we just want the booking.
Right.
Why not? But now, this time we said, I actually added $75. I said they can, but I'm going to charge you $75. It's more.
Right.
Because they're just staying 2 nights. And actually, then Ryan and I said, well, maybe in the future, we'll do $25 per night.
per person.
Per person. So in this case, it should have been 100, but
It would have been 100.
75.
Now, it was funny because we were talking on chat, like we were in 2 different buildings, and I think we both had the exact same feeling where we were like, this is fine that they do this. If they want to pitch a tent in the yard, that's great. But then we remembered, like, when it's 6+ people, the wear and tear on the house is, like, you can tell. I mean,
Right.
not that people, do bad things or make damage or anything, but you're like, things are extra dirty when there's that many people, you know?
So Airbnb doesn't really, in my opinion, doesn't make it so easy to add these fees afterwards. It was not obvious to me. Like, it's when I'm on the its reservation page of its person I'm talking to, there is nothing that says it's you can send people a special offer, but that's just if you want to give them a discount. It doesn't allow you to actually add a fee to it. And then Ryan did a Google search, and she sent me the link. And actually, you have to go to the main reservation page where all your reservations are. Find the one that you want to change and click alter.
Yeah.
And then on the alteration, then you can add it.
Now, and part of the alteration, too, is not, like, you can't be, like, like in a PayPal invoice or something, you can, like, add a line item. Like, this is the extra fee for 2 extra people type deal. I think you have to change the whole price of the reservation, right? You can't just, like, tack something on.
Right.
It would seem like you should be able to tack something
And plus,
on.
because we only allow 6 people in our place, I couldn't say it was to add 2 more people, because it's when I tried to do that, it gave me an error and said, you have to actually go and change how many people are allowed in your house.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was able to send an alteration of $75 extra.
Right.
And then I wrote back to the person and said, it's no problem as long as you're willing to pay the extra charge. The renter wrote back, said, great, thanks for, I just wanted to check. I'm going to confirm if they're going to do this. And if it's want to come, we'll pay the extra. So it all worked out.
Yeah, it was good. I think the good thing is that the people understood kind of. You're good at explaining why. You're like, it's just extra wear and tear on the house,
Right.
But I think we're getting better at that because we're just like, we've had the experience of, like 8 to 10 people being there, and we're like, it's too many people.
And we've talked about this in our area. That's pretty common for other people that rent houses, is that they have this thing where, I mean, they'll allow like up to 12 people.
They just cram them in.
Like, there's not even beds for the people. They'll allow up to 12 people, and then they do that thing where after whatever 4 people, it's $25 extra.
Right.
So there's a base fee, and then it's once you start adding, it's more people, the thing explodes.
It just explodes.
I think that's a reason why we've attracted a lot of renters, because we have just kind of like one base fee and not like an extra per person fee.
Right.
We just have a limit of 6, but this is good. So we'll do this from now in the
Yeah, I think it's
future.
good. I think it's good to do it.
Again, I just wish Airbnb made it a little easier to add fees,
Yeah.
Just like we've said, I wish that they would allow us to add the taxes we have to pay,
Yeah, I don't know why they don't do that.
Well, that's like a political thing, I think,
yeah.
with Airbnb. Like, they don't want to make it easy for cities and counties to be able to like tack on fees
Right.
easily. Like, they want to be able to fight that in court. So,
But it's hard because we live in an area where it's so well established that it's like, that's the tax.
I mean, you don't have
yeah.
to...
Yeah. Okay, so our new house, we call it the River House because it's close to the river. Our next project is getting a driveway, which sounds huge. But so we had to contact the Department of Transportation to like see if they could give us a permit. And the guy met us out there. And what was interesting is we were thinking we had to like get a new entrance because there's already a parking area off the road. So clearly there's an entrance onto the road. And we were like, oh, we can't do it there. We have to, I don't know why we didn't think we couldn't do it there. So we're like, we have to get a permit and all this permission and all this stuff. And then the guy from the Department of Transportation was like, why don't you just start the driveway where the entrance is now? And then you don't have to get a permit and you don't have to do anything. We were like, oh, yeah, we should do that.
I mean, we were trying to get the best of both worlds. We wanted to have a driveway that went up to the house, and we wanted a parking area down.
Yes, that's true.
It's below. And then he told us you can have one or the other.
Right.
You can't have both because I guess they don't want multiple places for cars to come in and out because
it's dangerous.
So because of that, we're now going to see if the guy who's going to do our driveway thinks he can angle it from the entrance now and get it up there.
Yeah.
To me, this is just an example of just like, this is how it works.
Yep.
Like, we have to, we have ideas of how things could work, and then we have to depend on the people that actually know to give us their opinions.
Exactly.
We'll see. And it's also just an example of just, man, it's going to be a big project, but it's going to be nice.
Oh, it's going to be so worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. We're figuring that out this week. But again, that's one of those examples of being your own contractor where you got to meet the guy out there. You got to talk to him. You got to talk to your excavator guy. You got to, get him on the phone, get him to come out and look at it again. It's like, that's what you have to do when you're not paying a contractor.
Yeah, exactly. So it's this week we had someone book for 4 more nights in its future.
Yes.
And this was actually a woman who just stayed with us.
Yeah.
Just this past couple of weeks, and she said she loved it so much she booked for her and her family again in the fall.
That was so great. Like when we saw that instant book, we were like, isn't that the lady that just left? I was a little bit confused. And I'm like, oh, she's booking again. That's so great.
Right, so we're into our second year now, and this is what we had hoped. We had hoped because we live in kind of a place where it is more of it's vacation hangout place. And this is what we hope that we start to get a bigger percentage of our bookings are rebooks. And this is our second person that's done that.
Yeah, someone who's coming actually like next weekend had booked, I think they were like in March or February, something like that. And then they booked for Memorial Day weekend. And we were like, it was like 10 minutes after they walked into the house, they rebooked. We were like, whoa. So yeah, because we live outside of a city and we're in an area that people do come for weekends and they do buy weekend houses. It's like we want people to be like, well, we don't have to buy a weekend house. Let's just rent this place whenever we feel like it.
But, like when we've been having some emails from people who are saying like they're thinking about it renting on Airbnb and they just don't know if people want to come to where they are.
Yeah.
They're in a weird part of a city or they're outside in the suburbs, and that's a good. I mean, we ask those same things too. Like,
Yeah.
are people gonna want to come out here, and how popular can we make our place? And,
Right.
and there's no good answer. I mean, the only thing you can do is go on Airbnb and type in it's your area and see if there are other people, how much they charge. You can see people's calendars. I mean,
That's so helpful.
and then just start to imagine, like, why would people come out here? Is it a vacation? Or is there a college near you? Is
Right.
it for work? Is
Right.
it just,
Exactly.
those kind of things? So the way we judge how well our rental is doing is we try and count how many nights we've booked in 2016. So our goal is for 200 nights.
Yes.
We've now booked 105 nights. It's 55.
Yes. So we're getting up there.
So it's a slow crawl. As soon as I'm waiting for those people to start to book the full 6 nights.
Yeah.
Like, those people are
The
out
summertime.
there. The families come and they book whole weeks, and that just starts taking a bite out
It's
of our
great.
nights. So.
But so we've been away for a month, but the weather here in Virginia, it's been like solid rain. It's even like cold in our house. So we're like, okay, that definitely puts the damper on people thinking about summer vacation, or even just like, 2-day getaways from the city. They're just like, eh. So I think that's why it's been a little bit slow. I'm hoping that's why.
and like we talked about, I mean, school is still
Yes.
kind of winding down. High school, and
Yeah.
in a middle school, it's still winding down. So people are done with their spring breaks, and they're just now kind of coming out of that mode.
Right. Like, it's not summer vacation yet. Not even really close. Like a month left. Okay, so the last renters, what did they leave behind? They left behind very basic stuff that we love. Milk and eggs.
Yeah, we just mentioned this because, again, that's the name of our podcast. The things that people leave it's behind is often shampoo
And booze.
and liquor, but this time it was eggs and milk, and
we use that stuff all the time.
we love that.
Okay, so if you want to ask a question or have a comment about your own business, you can call our voicemail line. The phone number is 540-407-8486.
And I would love to hear people who, again, are hiring cleaners.
Yes.
And are you hiring like a company, so there's like a different person every time? Are you hiring just like an individual person that's just doing this as a side job? I just love to know how you're creating that it's really a relationship, and how you, especially people that are having the cleaner come, whenever they need them. Like, I need you for this 3 hours to clean between. I mean, how do you get people to give you that kind of tight schedule?
That's so interesting to me. Okay, you can check out our blog at shampooandbooze.com for any links we discuss and to join the conversation. Again, you can leave a question or a comment on the voicemail line. That phone number is 540-407-8486. We post an episode every Sunday night or Monday morning. You can subscribe to us through iTunes or YouTube so you always get the latest episode. And if you're interested, you can listen to our other podcast where we talk about how we sell stuff that we scavenge to fund the renovations for Airbnb, and that is at scavengerlife.com.
We're going to have to sell a lot of old shoes to pay for that driveway.
Okay, bye.
Bye.